Good evening. Welcome to another edition of the Kwame McPherson Show. It's been a while, I know, but believe me, the summer has been awesome. I've been busy. I've been doing a lot of things and meeting a lot of people, networking, and enjoying a lot of events. And now we're back. I'm back. And today, on a cold, grey London day, I'm here with the I can't get a word out. This fascinating individual by the name of Khori Hyde. Now, we were talking earlier, and it occurred to me that I knew Khori from before, because we used to play for a football team, which we're probably going to talk about anyway. But and it so happens that not only has Khori gone on from what we used to do together on that football team, but he's now excelled in more ways than I can tell you. He will describe that outfit for you as you'll hear later on. But right now, you don't want to hear from me, you want to hear from Khori Hyde. And Khori, good evening.
Thank you, Kwame. Thank you. Blessings.
That's welcome. I'm glad you're here. You know, glad you made the time, you know, to be on.
Man. You know, what you're doing is a great thing. So I'm at the time, Kwame.
Yeah, you know, and like I said, thank you for taking the time out to come on the show and learn about. Everyone wants to know who is Khori. So my first question to you, because Khori has been phenomenal things, not only here but back in Jamaica, especially with younger British Jamaicans. I don't know how the term that way, but second, third, fourth generation Jamaicans who are descendants of Jamaicans, and he's doing a phenomenal work with an initiative which he will go into now. Khori, let us know about the fascinating and phenomenal work that you're doing.
Well, I am a Jamaican born, and after migration, we have always, and I use the word we, you know, and I'm going to expound on the we as we go in. I've always looked at ways in which you're going to bring people home. You know, even if it is not in the physical sense, the mind must be drifting back to Jamaica. So, you know, on the dream journey, you know, of migration, I have always maintained that connection with Jamaica, and I believe that is the pocket money that I had, you know, coming to this country, you know, that I'm gonna spend a little money with you, so that, you know, your mind drift back with me. So with that pocket money, I was able to encourage persons to understand Jamaica and love Jamaica, and, you know, want to go to Jamaica. So with that sewn in, the only thing left now is a practical part of it, taking them there. You know, and you mentioned earlier about football. You know, that's one of my little hobbies that I really take serious. And on the football field is where you can learn about individuals. That's a community in itself. So you know your fellow footballer brethren. You know the dislike. You know what you can do for get under them skin. You know when they lose the ball and all of them things. So I use the football platform, you know, to model the entertainment platform as well, because I also play music in my spare time. I love music, you know, so I can play music. Yeah, man, if you want to put me on some decks, I can play some music. I can scratch and all them things.
See, I didn't even know this before. I'm learning.
What you asked me to tell you?
No, that is true. No, phenomenal. Yeah, see, you're multi-talented.
Yeah, so, you know, with that, you know, I was, you know, kind of attracted to the entertainment side here in the United Kingdom. You know, because as a Jamaican, music in your blood.
Definitely.
You know, and we met up with quite a few friends who had events at the time. And when I looked at the events, Kwame, it was inside. Used to inside event, you know, I mean, with big sound boxes and things like that. I'm used to the outside. You look up, you see the star, you know, promoter in a trouble. You know, that's a thing. And that's free spirit and the wide open space that was missing. So I looked at how, you know, I can add a Jamaican touch to that entertainment scene.
Okay.
And I realized I always look for gaps in the market, and there was no spring break in the United Kingdom.
True.
Right, and what I did was to go around county to county with my friends, senior peer knowledge, of special selections.
Yes.
We call ourselves special selections. And went from county to county with a group of young Jamaicans and British friends. Sometimes we're 50 strong, 80, 100 strong. I would just go in different counties, Aldershot, Birmingham, Manchester, Nottingham, Leeds, Leicester, and have this spring break. So a friend of mine, which is Rowan Willery, which is renowned as DJ Face. He had an event in Stratford Rex every Friday night, and I thought that, boy, if we can get away from the inside, might as well take it to a popular venue, where you would probably find more Jamaicans, second and third Jamaicans. Let's put it that way. So we headed into Stratford Rex. So we collaborated on this big spring break event in 2008. Right? You see how long that was? And we transformed Stratford Rex. For those who remember Stratford Rex, I know the size of Stratford Rex and how it looked. I transformed down in the era where they would have, the crowd would have been. So tents, I set up tents down there. And we had artificial fire. So we created a campfire, camping experience. And then towards the end of the night, we invited the dancers, the dance crew, to go on stage down there. So when you look across, it recaptured the whole Jamaican experience. It was phenomenal.
Oh, wow.
Right? Yeah. So from that, the collaboration between Rowan and myself, it continued until we looked at, how can we move this product from the United Kingdom and take them, take that experience out into Jamaica.
I remember this to pause there, because I remember when I met the first time we were going to do it in Jamaica. I remember I went out to the High Commission and we did the presentation. I remember that. I will never forget. And I said to myself, wow, this is something to be associated with, because not only were you talking about the fun element, you're also talking about the charity element. And I thought, and to me, that was such a good marry. And I can't remember, I can't remember the year, but I remember you doing that first presentation. And I said to man, because you came and you presented, you had the t-shirt on with the BritJam on it and everything else. And wow.
Good energy, because when the generations go out there, Kwame, because they're dispelling stereotypes, people are saying that, Jamaica, you've never been to Jamaica. So the first generation is sharing their experience with the second generation and the third generation. And, sometimes it's good stories. It's good stories, but the fear element. So our job was very hard at the time to dispel that fear. To say it would be okay. It is okay. What we're gonna do, we're gonna make sure that you're in a hotel that is reputable, and then we have our reps who will come get you from the hotel, put you on the bus, take you to the events and the various excursions, and take you back. So once we got over the first year, the anxiety and that fear, and dispel that fear, everybody said, Jamaica, alright. We want.
Which it is.
Yeah, it is. We want to go to Jamaica not just as a tourist going to Jamaica. We want to go to Jamaica because we have bragging rights. I am going back to Jamaica and I'm going to tell 1 and 2. So the numbers grew. And as we get into our third year, they want now to have villas out there. So when they go, they have their own place to stay. So that in itself.
And the beauty is that not only is Khori a proponent and a mover with BritJam, this was because BritJam is a brand, is that it's also bringing foreign exchange back into the country. It's also creating connections with those younger generations in Jamaica. And that in itself is so phenomenal, because as the older generation move on and pass on, unfortunately, there needs to be a closer connection Can you explain a bit more? Because I think, like I said, I love it that you've now created this hub or this nucleus of where people can actually create this connection, even though they may not have had the first-hand experience of that. Because bringing them more or less like a second-hand experience, but now they're saying, why? I wish I had the first-hand experience.
I'm going to start with food.
Yeah.
Let me start with food. As you say, we create jobs in itself.
Yeah.
When we go to Montego Bay, and a matter of fact, even on the excursions, we employ the locals. So wherever BritJam is, there is employment for the locals. I remember one year, the local jerkman said, boy, John, I'm happy. So come December, January, I'm having chicken and cook. You can go and get him little chicks and start preparing to feed them, I think, because it's guaranteed that come BritJam time, he's going to come on. Exactly, and that is a story that has been told. So they feel a part of this, it's a synergy.
That's good.
Now, those who give us a service in Jamaica, some of them do have relatives back here in the United Kingdom, right? So that trust element now, is reciprocated. I would use that word, it's reciprocated because Jamaicans have to trust. Trust them. Trust them. And then the Brits on this side, the second and third generation, would have to trust them. So it's that reciprocation now breeds the comfort of exchange. So you have what you call it the culture exchange, the dialect exchange. So I can communicate with you now on your on that level. So from skills, from the lawyer, the doctor, the teacher, everybody.
And this is funny, and a lot of people may not recognize or realize, this is exactly what Messiah Marcus Garvey was talking about. It's exactly this type of example of where you create, you have a diaspora which has closer connections with wherever, which enables economic growth, it enables skill development, it enables, people uplifting people. That's phenomenal. That's an example of his philosophy.
Listen, join on the great man Marcus Messiah, it's roots and reconnecting with your roots. And we are going to go in a like a Pan-African mindset right now, where's the motherland? Where is the land that you rest your head? Where's the land that you really put down your intellect then? Where's the land where those who you inspire are going to birth out of? So drawing it back now to that, BritJam calls for the musician on both sides, Britain and Jamaica. It calls for the man with the culinary skill, right, to look after the food, prepare the food, and also the culinary palate from those going down to understand and appreciate the taste. It calls for the organizer, the young entrepreneur in Jamaica who's a budding promoter who work hard to put an event together to host the Brits coming down of the highest quality, and all of that intertwined to invite corporate Jamaica, right, to put their brand on something good, and when you walk away where it is crime-free and it's a relaxed and enjoyable atmosphere, that is connection. You cannot deny that connection.
I'm blown away. But what I wanted to look at, Khori, is all right, let's take that step back. Bringing this brand, BritJam to out the world in a sense. Khori, tell us about you, the young Khori, before you come Khori the BritJam.
All right. Young Khori.
Schooling and...
I went to several high schools.
Okay.
So when those talk about their high school,
like me,
yeah, like you don't have to be a one. You have to be a one. You know, I probably can say I've been to that school.
Okay.
You know, I came through the common entrance route. You know, I came through the common entrance route, and I got it very young. You know, so I was in high school when I just brushed 10 years old. You know, so my brother used to go. Well, let's start from, if you want to go from primary school. Village Hall Age in Fatesman. I used to attend that school. I attended Monig primary, right? All Age then, you know, when I was like 2 years old. My mom, you know, so my mom has been an educator for decades. She became the principal of village, so you know I had to go there. So I grew up in that community. I went to school in that community, grew up in that community. Let's say I had friends who, you know, at different ends of the spectrum. You know, what was always a comfort zone for me, you know, in the country, and the red dirt and all that, because it's closer to Swallingburg.
And you know something that I could do what I thought, because I must admit, you know, I grew up in Kingston, you know, and every time I went to country, part of the Portland where my father came from, trust me, I love it.
Listen,
look, I love Kingston, but trust me, I love Portland.
Kwame,
you know,
I had friends who never wear their shoes come to school, and me take off my shoes because it fun. It looked exciting. You know, me take off my shoes, and you know, at the end of the day, you know who you can't separate it. You understand? You know, the experience. I remember you can't profile it.
The experience, and that experience alone, phenomenal.
Yeah, man, trust me, it's a life lesson.
Yes, it is.
Those are the things, you know. So that is my early schooling. Left there, went to Charlemont High School.
Okay.
Right? Yeah, man. I see you. Okay. Yeah, man. Charlemont is a very good school. You know, I went there. My brother went there, and after he left, you know, he was a year ahead of me. He left, and you know, when I was stay out there, and brothers no longer there, I went to Ferncourt High.
Okay.
Yeah, man, I went to Ferncourt High and did my stint at Ferncourt High, and I was still young.
Yes.
Yeah, so looking whether I should go to community college or whatever. I did a year at Ocherius.
Okay.
You know, so
you're a journey, man.
A journey through the high schools. You know, but it's like coming home, center. And so, you know, after Ochi High, then I went to Brownstown Community College. I got a job at Brownstown Community College as the computer lab technician there. And so, you know, my IT skills, you know, that's where it all started. And I got to love IT, you know, more than anything else, you know, kind of put on the football and thing and focus on the IT, and then I started my company, right, which was Black Enterprise. At that time, I was, you know, eager to teach persons in my community, especially the elderly, how to use computers, because I saw it as a revolution, you know, and I didn't have a computer at the time, you know, and I'm going to tell you the year it was, you know, but put it this way, there was no mouse. Floppy disk was the order of the day. And I borrowed a computer from the neighbor, you know, and I walked with that computer every day to people's houses, you know, so mile and a half back. So I did 3 miles, and it's more than 3 miles, because I would have to take the monitor, the monitor, and you know, and the keyboard, and then come back for the system unit. You know, so I did probably 6 miles, 6 miles per day.
So what was the transition then from being that person to coming to the UK? How did that journey happen?
I realized that UK has gone. Because I was a teacher, as I said, at Brownstown Community, and I also went to St. Mary, being in charge of 8 schools in St. Mary, because of the connection with Jamaica Computer Society, right? So I was based at the Rockabessa Comprehensive, right? And that now, you know, gave me a little bit of foundation to look a bit further, you know, and UK offered those IT platforms that I could, further develop and further help Jamaica. So after leaving Comsey, after leaving the community college and Rockabessa, out of that cluster, I made a journey. Made a journey here.
And then from that we have BritJam.
We can skip out a few things in the middle and think.
But no, it's a phenomenal story. It's a phenomenal journey. So where do you see? Because BritJam is a brand.
BritJam is a brand.
We know that every year there's an event in Jamaica. We know Khori and what shaped you to bring BritJam to the wider world. Where do you see BritJam going? Where do you hope for it?
BritJam is global brand, because if brand Jamaica is recognized globally, you have to place BritJam globally as well. And there's a remarkable team, I must say. There's a remarkable team in principals like Asasa Rowan. The vision is always there, constant ideas. So it makes it so easy, because I assume the role as brand director, because I have to look after the brand, I have to make sure that when it goes into a different territory, it delivers. What's on the tin is what's in the tin. So BritJam, we're going other places next year. We have been to France. We have done 1 and 2 stints in Belgium. And look out Dubai. 2017. We're going for a week. How many
people you have within BritJam itself? How many people you got in terms of how many people you have in?
You're talking about the database. We're talking about the database of BritJam. The people who are constantly talking about BritJam. I'm planning to go to BritJam. Whether they make it for that year or not, we're looking pretty close to 25,000 in the diaspora.
Wow, that's awesome. And it's going to get bigger.
It's growing.
Yeah,
it's growing. And who travel to BritJam when it's time for call to order, put it that way, to go to Jamaica, they're coming from various ports.
That's awesome.
So
it's like, and like I said, it's like from a known, you're the person, like you're the one in the middle, and you bring all these second and third generation people under your wing that say, let me take you out to Jamaica and show what Jamaica looks like. That's awesome.
It's just the message that you are bringing to people and the trust that person have. BritJam followers, and I'm going to use BritJam followers. They're different from BritJam community.
Yeah, I hear that.
Right?
Is that a part of a future project? Like in terms of is BritJam? Do you have part of a project that BritJam does, or does it go to BritJam and say, we're going to pick a charity now, we're going to do some work with them, or how does that whole process work?
It's more than a party. It's more than a party, of course, and more than excursion. It's the cultural awareness, and for you now to pick how you fit in that culture for the giving back. So it's re-socialization. It's a re-socialization process. So BritJam has now embarked on various charitable ventures. Come December, we are going into Montego Bay now to help with the homeless and the shut-ins. So we're working with 2 organizations in Montego Bay to really further their work as well, because you don't go down there to reinvent the wheel. I believe in partnerships.
Of course.
So you go and you work in partnership. It makes it easier, and it makes it reach out a little bit more. It's more tangible too. When you do that.
Wow.
So those are the things. We are supporting other organizations to reach their targets in connection as well.
That's awesome.
Because BritJam now.
I was going to say it's interesting because I was having a discussion around somebody who's in Jamaica about the diaspora and partnerships, right? And her view and her focus is that the diaspora and partnerships, to a great extent, didn't work because she wanted to get something out, right? And she said, the diaspora doesn't support me. But I said, no, it's not just about that. It's about creating partnerships. It's about creating understanding that you're getting the support anyway. It's not that you don't see the support in terms of, it's not just about money, it's more than that. It's about creating something which you're getting you and your store and your brand out rather than just having money coming in. You know what I mean?
Kwame, I say this every day that I encounter an individual or an organization who is looking to do work in Jamaica, it's never been about the money. It's about the conversation.
Exactly.
You know, and sometimes their reaction is, but if people are hungry and they need help, you know, how can you have a conversation? It's simple. You ask the question, are you hungry? The answer is yes. Isn't that a conversation?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Right?
Yes, it is.
Do you want gravy on the rice? Are you a vegetarian? You just don't send a meat to a vegetarian.
No, exactly. No, I
You must
agree.
have a conversation.
I totally agree.
You know,
I totally agree. Wow, like I said, I'm completely blown, Khori. I'm like I said, I can't even talk because it's phenomenal work that you're doing. It's great work in terms of uplifting brand Jamaica in a sense, but also through your brand, BritJam, which is enhancing that, and also bringing the younger ones in to see what Jamaica, the true Jamaica is all about. Because like you said, people only see when Jamaica's on the world stage, doing very well, and they jump on a bandwagon. But what about the true Jamaica? You know, in that regard. So that's phenomenal in itself. So how can people know about BritJam? How can, you know, where do they go? They contact you? What website?
The website.
You know, let them know. Let people know.
Well, it's all the W's .officialbritjam.com, and we are all over social media with at official BritJam. You can find us. The Twitter handle is there as well. We're on Instagram. Search for us, official BritJam at BritJam. You know, it's there.
And like I said, and the future projects that you're going to be working on, can you specify those again? Or there's going to be like a discharge you're going to be working? You know who you're going to be working with?
Well, I'm a founding director of Jamaicans Inspired. Yes, and you know the work that we have been doing in Jamaica is really connected to education, because I have got an education background. Recently, we have just signed an MOU with JCDC, Jamaica Cultural Development Commission, where we are funding the parish queens who are parish ambassadors, linking with ambassadors here in the United Kingdom, just to get projects, their parish projects on the way. So what I've been doing is in education, funding teachers to be in the computer labs, so that we can further the ICT, the computing curriculum, and then introduce STEM into the whole overarching involvement of the diaspora, which is science and technology, engineering and mathematics.
It's interesting because we sent some laptops actually to our school. My alma mater, Calabar. We sent some recently. And basically,
the new?
We involved the whole chapter. So we sent it to the library, and it's exactly falling in line with that. So that's phenomenal work. Just touching a bit about Jamaican Inspired, because that is something I know is people talk to you. I'm not a part of it yet in terms of I know of it. I know the major movers and shakers like itself. Just touch on a bit, just for a few seconds, about Jamaican Inspired.
Well, as we mentioned, BritJam and what BritJam does. Remember the engaging of those people going into Jamaica. The body that controls the projects now. It's Jamaicans Inspired. So we create the projects for those interested when they go to Jamaica and be reconditioned culturally and socially. Jamaicans Inspired will have projects going in. So as I mentioned earlier, the education project, which is called Reapers, and the JPAP program, which is Jamaica Parish Ambassadors program, and then there's a mentorship initiative which is called JIMP. So those are the things.
And a lot of people don't realize, especially outside for the Jamaican diaspora, for Jamaica, there are lots of good work that's taking place, which is having an impact in Jamaica.
Yes.
A lot of people don't realize that. There's a lot of good work that's taking place through Jamaica Inspired, through the diaspora umbrella group itself, so Jamaican the teachers, Jet UK. So a lot of good work that is actually taking place, and that's phenomenal.
Because if you can help the education sector and the health sector, you start with those areas. Tourism becomes natural because they want to go to Jamaica.
Well, Khori, wow. What can I say? Thank you.
You're welcome. It's a pleasure.
Been phenomenal, and always a pleasure. Always a pleasure, my friend. All right, cool. That's it for the Kwame McPherson Show. Khori Hyde, brand manager, brand director for BritJam, also part of Jamaica Inspired, and I'm being inspired, and I'm sure that anyone's watching this will be inspired. And wow, what can I say? All the details you can see at the bottom of my program as I finish, as I wrap up. But thank you. I said it's been a long time. I've been away for quite a while, but I'm now back, and we'll see you again soon. Thank you.
Listen.